3.
Hello, welcome everyone to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to discuss about the important things which you need to know about forest type, as I have highlighted here: forest type, conservation of forest, wildlife, and conservation of wildlife. First, as I have highlighted here, I have classified according to the Board of Secondary Education Manipur. I have classified forests into different broad classifications, and the first classification is based on the predominant natural vegetation type. According to the predominant natural vegetation type, forests can be broadly classified into 5. Number 1, tropical evergreen and semi-evergreen forests, tropical deciduous forest, thorn forest and scrubs, mountain forest, and mangrove forest. So we are going to discuss the important things which you need to know here in the given different types of forests. So these are different types of classification. These are different classifications of forests in India. Number 1, tropical evergreen and semi-evergreen forests. These types of forests, we are going to discuss this one first. And the thing which you need to know here, in this type of forest, is the place where they are found. So where is tropical evergreen forest or tropical semi-evergreen forest found? They are found in the western slope of the Western Ghats, Andaman and Nicobar Island, Tamil Nadu, etc. And then you have already known. I have already told you the place where they are found. And they are characterized, this forest type, this tropical evergreen forest and semi-evergreen forest. First, let us classify this one into 2. Number 1, here tropical evergreen and semi-evergreen forest. Okay, first let us see tropical evergreen forest. Tropical evergreen forests, they are characterized by high temperature and rainfall of about 300 centimeters annually. So that means this type of forests, they are found in an area which have heavy rainfall, that is above 300 centimeters per year. And these types of forests, these tropical evergreen forests, they look green throughout the year. Because in this type of forest, the trees in this type of forest, there is no specific time. There is no specific time for them to shed their leaf, unlike the other types of forests. So, because of that, this type of forest looks green throughout the year. And some of the important trees, okay, here, the thing which you need to know, I'm just going to note it down here. Andaman and Nicobar Island, Andaman, and let me just write in short form: Nicobar Island, Tamil Nadu, what are other things? Tamil Nadu, Lakshadweep, okay. Coastal part of Tamil Nadu, Lakshadweep, yes. Lakshadweep. So these are the place where you'll find tropical evergreen forests. So a quick summarize of this point. They are found in this area. They have a high temperature, above 300 centimeter rainfall annually, and it is some of the important trees. The tree species found in this region are ebony, mahogany, and rosewood. And there are many others as well, but I'm mentioning only some of the important species found there. Okay, now let us see semi-evergreen forest. These semi-evergreen forests, they are found in an area which have less rainfall comparing with the tropical evergreen forest. So when we compare with tropical evergreen forest, these semi-evergreen forests, they have lesser rainfall than that of the formal one. And this type of forest has a mixture of evergreen and deciduous forest tree species. So the tree species, the types of trees which you will find, in these areas will be a mixture of the types of trees which you will find in evergreen forests and tropical deciduous forests. And some of the species are like cedar, hollock, chirpine, oak, etc. So these are some of the trees which you will find, like cedar, hollock, chirpine, and so on. And Most importantly, the thing which you need to know about this forest is rubber plantation, coffee plantation, tea plantations, they are done in this type of forest, in this type of area. Okay, we are done with the first. Now let us see tropical deciduous forest. Tropical deciduous forests, they are the most widespread types of forests in India. That means they are the forests which is the most types of forest. That means the most widespread types of forests which are found in India compared with the other types of forests. And they are found in a region, here in the first I have said that they are found in above 300 centimeter rainfall. 300 centimeter rainfall, here we will find 70 to 200 centimeter rainfall annually. So, tropical deciduous forests are found in in regions having an annual rainfall of 70 to 200 centimeter rainfall. And some of the species which you will find, some of the valuable species which you will find in this area are sal tree, okay, teak, sandalwood, and so on. So these are some of the trees which you will find, tree species, the valuable tree species which you will find in these types of forests. And they are found in eastern slope. This one, the first one is found in the western slopes of the Western Ghats, and this tropical deciduous forest is found in the eastern slopes of the Western Ghats. Odisha, Jharkhand, Bihar, Chhattisgarh, UP, Maharashtra, and so on. So the thing which you need to know, the point that which you need to note down regarding this point, these types of forests is they are found in Maharashtra, yes, the place where they are found, and the annual rainfall which they receive, and some of the species you have found there. Okay, let us move to the next, thorn forests and scrubs. So these thorn forests and scrubs, they are found in a scanty rainfall area. A scanty means a less, very least rainfall areas. Like it is found in an area which have less than 50 centimeter a year. In 1 year, the rainfall, the amount of rainfall is less than 50 centimeter a year. And these types of forests, they are found in Gujarat, Rajasthan, MP, Madhya Pradesh, areas of Chhattisgarh, and so on. So these types of forests, they have least rainfall, and the plants which are growing there, they are heat resistant plant. They are heat resistant plant, like cucumber, like bamboo, the cactus, kale, euphorbias. So these are some of the plants which are found there. So you'll find these types of forests, these thorns and scrub forests. You'll find these types of forests in Rajasthan, Gujarat, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, part of Chhattisgarh. Okay, and now let's move to mountain forests. These types of mountains are found in the Himalayas region and in some of the high hills of the southern part of the country. And the vegetation types, we cannot just simply say that these types of trees or species of trees are found in this forest type, because they are different in altitude. Suppose this is Himalayan mountain, this is Himalayan mountains, and in these Himalayan mountains, mountain forest will be found. The mountain forest will be found in the Himalayan mountains. And in these Himalayan mountains, the types of tree species, the types of trees which are found, will be different, varying across altitude. That means in the foothills of Himalayas, the tropical, it varies from tropical type, it varies from tropical type to tundra. That means in the foothills of this region, you will find different species of trees, and in the middle range, in the higher range, you will find different species of plants, and here at the top, you will find different species of plants. So let us see some of the plants which are growing there. At the foothills, at this area, some of the trees which are growing are oak, chestnut, and so on. Oak, chestnut, they are obviously we know that they are tropical species of plants or trees. And the higher one, when we go up a little bit higher, we'll find like fir, pine, spruce, deodar, walnut, etc. These are some of the trees which you will find up to a higher altitude when we go in these mountain types of forest. Okay, at the highest altitude, after starting from there, we will find oak, chestnut, and there pine, spruce, deodar, walnut, etc. At the highest altitude, these types of vegetations is turned into pasture. That means merely a tree is growing up there in the higher altitude. Now, last of forest type based on the predominant natural vegetation type, it is mangrove forest. Mangrove forests are mainly found in the West Bengal, in the Sundarbans of West Bengal, deltas of Mahanadi, Kaveri, Godavari, Krishna. So these types of forests are found in deltas or in areas which is usually covered, or in the marshy areas, which is and most of the trees which are growing here are salt resistant trees. That means they can grow in a place where it is salty also. The trees like Sundari trees, these Sundari trees are usually good for making boats and all, and these trees are salt resistant trees. So these are the 5 types of forests. The 5 types of forests based on the predominant natural vegetation types. And now, based on administrative point of view, this is natural vegetation. We have already done this one. Okay, now let us see. Wait a minute. Okay, these 3. Okay, these three classifications, they are based on administrative point of view. So in the administrative point of view, forest is classified into 3 types. They are reserve forest, protected forest, and class forest. This number 1, let us go ahead at number 1. Reserve forest. Reserve forest, they are permanent forest estate reserved for producing timber, other products like gum, resin, and so on. So these are the forest types. These reserve forests, they are a permanent estate. They are reserved permanent estate, which is usually reserved for producing timber and other products from the forest like resin, gum, and so on. And here, in these types of forests, practicing of agriculture, or cultivations, or plantations, and what else? Grazing of animals are strictly prohibited in these areas. And these types of forests cover the largest areas in Indian forest type. So the reserve forest is covered about 53%. That is more than half of the total geographical area covered by forests. Next, protected forests. These are also real. These are also a reserve, a permanent estate reserve. But unlike the first one, in these types of forests, in these protected forests, cultivations, farming, and grazing of animals are allowed in a specific region or in a certain region. And it covered about 29%. These protected forests cover about 29%. And the remaining, now let us go to the unclassed forests. These are the types of forests or wasteland which are owned by the government, maybe, or the community, maybe, or private individuals. And these types of forests covered about 18%. These types of forests covered about 18%, and these are the worst types of forests. Now we have done all this, and now let us see conservation of forests. Conservation of forests. As you know, we need forests for livelihood, and we are depending on forests for many of our day-to-day needs. We get many things like timber, wood, and many raw materials for infrastructures. And forests also help us in protecting soil erosions, and it also help us in maintaining the ecological system, ecological balance. So we need to protect and we need to conserve. We need to conserve the forest. So according to the National Forest Policy, NFP, National Forest Policy 1988, yes. 1988, it seeks, this National Forest Policy 1988 seeks the conservation of forests based on sustainable development. So, what is this all about, conservation of forests? Yes, as we know, forests are essential, are crucial for the livelihood of human beings. Certain steps and measures are taken up in order to protect and conserve forest areas. So what are the things which you need to do in order to conserve forests? To be simple, you need to go for a forestation program, plant more trees, okay, and mass mobilization is really important for conservation of forests. Mass drive like mass plantation of trees. And this conservation of forests will in turn help us in maintaining ecological balance and will take care of our future generations. And not only that, it will also help us in protecting soil erosion and like many natural calamities like earthquake, storms, and landslide. Yes, it will protect us from all of those by conserving forests. And if we are going to cite an example regarding this conservation of forests, the Chipko movement. Chipko movement is worth mentioning regarding this conservation of forests. So now you know what is the importance of conservation of forests and how to conserve the forest. Let us go to the next, wildlife. Okay, in the previous class we have already learned the number of species or the number of flora and fauna found in a country. And now we are going to study about the fauna. Here in India is rich in wildlife. But the existence of many of the species of this wildlife are endangered. They are threatened because of clearance of forest area, their natural habitat, or because of poaching, excessive poaching, hunting of animals. Let us cite an example, the one-horned rhinoceros. The one-horned rhinoceros is hunted by many of the hunters for illegal trade. So their existence is threatened and they are an endangered species. Now, we also depend on the wildlife for our livelihood. And wildlife is a national property which is to be inherited by the younger generations. Many of the species in India as well, they are extinct now. They become extinct because of excessive exploitation of human beings. So it doesn't these protections or this threatening or endangering or hunting or poaching of this wildlife doesn't only threaten the existence of that particular species, it also even threatening the livelihood, the ecological balance, the ecosystems in the existence of human beings as well. So what is the need for the owl? The need for the owl is the conservation of wildlife. So wildlife, we are rich in wildlife, like let us mention some like a nilgai, four-horned antelope, blackbucks, lion, tiger, leopards, peacocks, Kashmiri deer. There are many wildlife which make India a unique country. But most of their existence, as I have said, they are endangered because of the excessive exploitation of human beings. So now, let us move to conservation of wildlife. So, Why do we need to conserve wildlife? As you know, the animals or the species or most of the wildlife found in India are endangered now. We need to conserve wildlife. So for conservation of wildlife in India, a comprehensive Wildlife Protection Act was enacted in the year 1972. In the year 1972, the government enacted a Comprehensive Wildlife Act, and after that, subsequently, the government of India set up wildlife sanctuaries, national parks, biosphere reserve, and many measures and steps in order to improve or in order to conserve wildlife. Like the government has set up at present 18 biosphere reserve, 102 national parks, 515 wildlife sanctuaries, 43 zoological gardens in order to conserve the in order to conserve the wildlife species found in India. Like, for example, the Kebul Lamjao National Park in Manipur, for the broad antlered deer, the Sangai, and then Project Elephant, Project Tiger. These are some of the conservative measures taken up by the government in order to conserve wildlife in India. So we have finished the lessons for today, and as you have learned the forest types, conservation of forest, wildlife, conservation of wildlife, you might have questions regarding this, or you might have a doubt regarding this. If you have doubts or if you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment regarding your questions or regarding your problems, and I will always be there to help you out with your questions. And in these lessons, let me give you some of the possible or some of the important questions, which may be asked in the board examinations or which will be important for your future. Like, yes, why is conservation of wildlife necessary? Why is conservation of wildlife necessary? Number 2 questions. And why is conservation of forest the need of the hour? Okay, like number 3, state one example taken up by the government of India in order to conserve wildlife. And give the characteristic of tropical evergreen forest and semi-evergreen forest. Or maybe what are the types of trees found in mountain forest? Yes. These are some of the possible questions which can be asked in these lessons. So if you have any problems regarding these lessons or the question which I have just said, or if you want to know more about the lessons, or if you want to watch more videos on the upcoming lessons, please subscribe and press the like button, and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notifications as I upload new videos. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy the videos.